You ever got disrespected, manipulated, gaslighted, and got told that you haven't done much for that man? Even though you broke your back for this man, even though you was in this man's corner supporting him from day one, you was his day one, and everybody else left. You was the only loyal one to this man. You helped this man build life, made his life easier. Still, you don't do much. Still, you're not enough. But then it got to the point where you're like, man, this man is so ungrateful, unthoughtful, that one day you just finally snap because you couldn't take it anymore. And then when you finally speak up, when you finally snap, he's like, oh, you were just acting dramatic. Suddenly you're just making stuff up. Suddenly you crying over spilled milk. But this whole time, man, you saw the signs, bro. You saw the signs. You saw the manipulation. You just didn't want to believe it. You felt that itch inside your soul saying, I'm sick and tired of this. And then you finally spoke up because you got tired of your name just being dragged in the dirt. Anybody would get pissed off. I get it, man. Because a narcissist will push you, poke you, disrespect you, dismiss you, and lie to you straight to your face and act like it just got you feeling like you crazy at this point. Like they'll play with your emotions, make you question yourself, and then get mad when you finally react like, bro, you've been pressing all my buttons. And this is the part that's messing with you because he never want to talk about what he did. Every time you bring up a conversation, he just like, I don't got time for that right now. He might not say it in those same words, but it's always the same excuse though. Oh, it's too late. I want to sleep. Oh, I'm watching the game right now. Can we talk about this later? But when you snap though, he want to talk about how you responded. He want to talk about your tone, but he don't want to talk about the months or the years you've been quiet about it. He wants to talk about the one day you raised your voice, but he never want to talk about how many times you sacrificed your peace to keep the peace with him. And at this point, you probably realize like, yo, what peace am I trying to keep with this man when he doesn't even care about me sacrificing my peace to keep the peace? But see, the thing is, he wants to make you look unstable. These types of narcissistic men, they want you to look crazy. So when you snap, guess what? All of a sudden now he's the calm one. They're not calm, bro. They're just not responding. You know, they might say, I'm just protecting my peace, so I'm not going to respond. No, they'll press your buttons and then go calm. They'll press your buttons and then go calm. Because the goal is to amp up you The goal is to amp up your craziness, right? The goal is to make you look stupid. Because if you look stupid long enough, right, he can have the audacity to reflect with you and tell you how stupid and crazy you look. But this is when you gotta be careful, because now he controls your identity at this point. He controls your snapping. So be careful, because you never know. You never know what you got involved, right? You never know how this shit can backfire on you. Yeah, you might be snapping in the house. What if you snap in public? What if something happens, right? So now he can label you. I don't know if you guys got kids or you guys are fighting custody for the shit. You know what I mean? It depends on the couple and the dynamic. But you be careful. Just be careful. That's all I'm going to say. I know that you can't always control your emotions when it hits a certain point. Just be careful what you expose out of yourself, because these types of men, they look for evidence to hold on to it. They're tracking your every move, man. Because when he calls you dramatic after hurting you, he's not trying to understand you. He's trying to give you labels. He's trying to control the story. He wants to make your reaction look worse than his behavior. So now, instead of addressing, why did you disrespect me? Now you're sitting there defending your tone. You start apologizing, especially if you're a people pleaser, right? And if you're an overgiver, now you start serving this man for no reason all of a sudden. Like, you mad as shit, but you in the kitchen cooking something up. Like, be careful how you process this whole narrative. Like, now you're apologizing for breaking down, and the whole conversation moved away from what he did. That's the trick. It's like he creates the wound, but then judges the way you bleed. And because you a good woman, he expects you to fall for it. It's a trap. It's a bait. It's a cheese trap. Don't be the mouse. And you might start thinking inside your head, you know what? Maybe I did too much. You might be at work, you know, just typing away on the computer or something, or I don't know, whatever you do, right? Because as you move around, you start thinking, this conversation don't leave your head. You might be standing at the coffee machine and just like, was I acting too much? Did I overdo it? Could I have say it different? Sis, how many times you said it 100 different ways? How many times did you say it 100 different ways? This ain't about being more creative with how to say something. This ain't a PowerPoint presentation. Well, if you can't understand this, well, let me dumb it down more for you. Narcissists, they're not dummies. They're very smart. They're very tactical. And once that man keeps pressing your limits, you only have so much wiggle room before you snap. Like, how gentle are you supposed to be? How much more understanding are you supposed to be? How much more of your peace are you supposed to sacrifice to keep the peace with a man who don't give a shit about your peace? You tell me, was you supposed to smile through every disrespect? Was you only supposed to pray to God for the strength to survive the relationship and just let it be? You're with a partner. You're with a man that you're building life with. You're with a man that got you in survival mode, anxious all the time, walking on eggshells. You don't know what version of that man you're getting today. And who knows what kind of narcissist he is, if he's abusive, physically, mentally, emotionally, or he's all three. Oh my God. And obviously you're going to snap because your nervous system can only contain so much of this negative energy inside of you. Because yes, you can have conversation. Yes, you can have a sit down talk. But if this man ain't listening to nothing you saying, how is he going to understand how you feeling? How is he going to understand how to help you heal through what you've been through with him if he doesn't see what he's doing is wrong? Does that make sense? And you're not dramatic because you reacted. You're tired. You're drained. You're overwhelmed. You're hurt. And there's no way for you to heal because now you're in an environment that keeps throwing salt inside your wound. You're reacting to a pattern that took the best out of you, that drained the best out of you. He's making you feel like your reaction is the problem when your reaction is actually the receipt. Imagine seeing a dog laying on the ground, just minding its own business. And then a stranger comes. The dog doesn't get up and bark because the person wasn't a threat at the time. But all of a sudden, they keep poking the dog with a piece of wood. You know when you touch a dog's booty, what happens, right? They start looking at you with their lips start flaring up, with their teeth just showing. And then all of a sudden, as you keep poking the ass, what happens? They start barking, right? That's you. You got poked long enough that you started barking. But see, the thing is, he wants to make you look like the angry witch. I ain't gonna say the B word. I don't call women bees. But that's what he want to make you look like, an angry witch. Because your reaction is only proof that something keeps happening. It's proof that you kept swallowing pain. It's proof that you kept trying to be patient. It's proof that you kept giving somebody chances that kept abusing every chance they got. And when you finally can't take it anymore, and here's the thing why you can't take it anymore. Because you wear your heart on your sleeves. You go above and beyond for the man you love. There is nothing more aggravating than doing so much for somebody and getting nothing out of it. That shit will blow your nerves. Me personally, I've watched my mom go so much for my dad. So much. And after decades, it's been the same shit. Ungrateful, unappreciative. And I get it, y'all. I'm making content and it sounds like I'm talking shit about my dad. No, I love my dad. It took me 31 years to forgive this man. But the damage has been done. This is just me being transparent because a lot of you want to know, where do I get this content from? Well, let me tell you where I get this content from. I've been through a lot, looking and seeing and what my mom been through. Okay, this is all from being an empathetic son. At some point when you've been the shelter of your mom's pain, protecting your mom's sanity, you tend to embody. You become why do you think I talk so much about identity, right? My identity, for so many years, I've wondered, how the hell do I have all this info inside my brain? When you see your mom go through so much shit, your identity is now forced to be what? The protector. So instead of my dad protecting my mom, I became the protector of my mom. But you know how they always say, like father, like son, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I have a brother that's like that. Complete exact person, bro. We're the complete opposite. It's like my mom gave birth to an angel and a demon all at the same time. For some of you who got ungrateful sons, I pray for you. I pray for your patience, your strength. You shouldn't have to go through this shit at the age that you are. Not to say that you're old, but when you are at a certain age, you don't want to deal with this no more, bro. Like, you want to rest. You want to live in peace. You know what I'm saying? But let's get off of me. Let's go back to you. See, when you can't take it anymore, he'll point at you and say, see, I know you was crazy. And this is why I can't talk to you. Because you always want to lash out. Always. You always want to lash out. What about when you always kept the peace? What about when you always cried in a room? Because you're like, what kind of man am I with that he doesn't love me the way I deserve to be loved? I'm showing up for this man. I'm there for this man. I'm making this man's life easy. I'm doing everything for this man. Not once does he say, you know what, baby girl, thank you. Not once. But when you snap for all the disrespect he couldn't take accountability for, now you the crazy one. You the crazy one. Because a man, let me tell you something. A man who truly values you, cares for you, loves you, we're all not perfect, and sometimes we do stuff that screws with our woman's peace, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? No relationship is perfect. Luckily for me, I don't think I've ever done much to piss my wife off. Probably because I've sworn to my mom that I will never get married unless I work on myself. Because I used to see versions of me becoming like my father. I had to read books. I had to do the deep work. I had to shift my identity. Making content like this also helped me. You feel me? I'm gonna tell you how much peace I bring into my wife. When I'm at work sometimes, or I'm away, I'm not in the house, and my wife's trying to go to sleep, but she can't fall asleep. You know what she does? She calls me so she can hear my voice until she falls asleep. It can take her maybe a couple hours to fall asleep. Within 10 minutes on the phone, just hearing me, she falls asleep. And I'm like, damn, I bring so much peace into this woman's life. That's crazy. And I'm not even bragging, bro. I'm just saying I did so much work on myself that I know if I can't bring peace into a woman's life, I don't need to be in a relationship. If I can't protect and provide peace, why am I in a relationship? That's loser behavior. If all you gonna do is bring chaos, you a fucking loser, you know? Anyways, back to you. I don't know why we keep switching the conversation to me. I know you don't want to hear shit about me. But anyways, the man who respects you and values you, right? He might say, you know what? I didn't like how you said that, but I understand. I understand and I hear you. And if he's a man with integrity, he'll take accountability. He's like, you know what? My bad. I'll work on that. And I can understand why you snap. Even though I don't like it, I understand. And that's it. But a narcissist will make you look like a volcano. He will use your reaction as a scapegoat for every single situation. It's like you took a loan and you're paying 100% interest. That's what they do. They just add 100% interest on your tone. Meanwhile, his disrespect is sitting there untouched. And he's really unbothered. He's really unbothered. Because a man who's really bothered by the whole situation will try to figure out, okay, what is the problem? How can we work this out? Can we meet in the middle somehow? And the man who listens to your pain, he's trying to understand your pain. And then he'll help you heal from that pain. Because if his action caused the pain, what does he have to do? Break the pattern. Work on his actions. Right? Be intentional. And work on not doing this shit again. But this type of narcissistic man wants you to accept the disrespect by labeling you the problem in every direction. You can't even turn left, right, front, center. You can't do shit. You're trapped. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you gotta stop letting this man rewrite your story. You gotta start writing your own story. You gotta shift your own identity. How do I do this, Daniel? Start writing down what you deserve, sis. Start writing down what you deserve. Start writing down how long you've been putting up with shit you don't deserve. How is this gonna help me, Daniel? How do you plan on shifting your identity? You plan on just talking about it all the time? Do you think you remember half the shit you talk about? Last week, you said some dumb shit. You don't even remember what you said, right? Last week, you had an idea to make $1 million. You already forgot that idea. So start writing this down. Get you a journal. Write down all the things you've done for this man. Write down all his traits. Write down your traits. Put it in a story. Write it down. Read it. Shift your identity. Because if you're trying to walk away, you need a different identity to do so. Because the identity you have now is what's keeping you staying there. But Daniel, I just want him to change. You can't change a narcissist, sis. They only get better with time. You know, when you start a new career and you're brand new, but you get trained on the job, and then after months on end, you get better at the job, But if you stayed at the job for 10 plus years, what happens? Do you think you get worse? Do you think you stop getting better at the job? No, you become a professional. And when a man's frontal lobe is already developed, what are you changing? Daniel, are you encouraging me to walk away from the man? No. I'm basically just enlightening your awareness about what situation you're in, because you're looking at the potential of a narcissist. A narcissist's potential is to explore how much more disrespect they can dish out and how they can get you to accept and tolerate it. Well, why do they get into a relationship if they're so bad? That's exactly why. Because they need a safe space to go home to. You know what a narcissist really is? They're people who never healed. For example, let's say you've been with this man for so long, right? That you decide to give him a taste of his own medicine. Now, eventually, if you keep giving this man the same taste of his own medicine, what do you think happens over years? You start to become like him. Even though you hate, resent, and you're angry because of him, right? You still become him, but now you become him to other people. If you don't have enough self-awareness, you won't pick up on this. But then once other people start seeing the same traits in you, they start pointing it out in you, just like you're pointing it out in him. Just like he thinks whatever he's doing is not wrong, you will eventually see whatever you're doing is not wrong. It's like in the movies when vampires bite you. Now all of a sudden you become a vampire when they feed you the blood and you resurrect from the dead. Like, you become one of them. The mind is a funny place. You could tell me, Daniel, nope, that will never happen to me, sweetheart. How many times have you been on a diet and you try to lose weight and you cheated on your diet within the third or second week? You caved in. The mind is a funny place. You become who you tolerate the most, and you become who you surround yourself the most. This is why I always say you work with people who reciprocate and you walk away from people who don't. But Daniel, I've had so many years with this man. You know why you're saying that? Because you've been praying to God for the strength for so long that your loyalty is now your identity. And you feel like if you walk away, then you have no loyalty left. Nah, sis. Your loyalty is towards you at the end of the day. When a narcissist makes you look like a piece of shit, makes you feel like a piece of shit, he's not loyal to you. Loyalty doesn't always mean a man cheated on you and that means he's not loyal. No, loyalty is also protecting my woman's peace. It's also providing my woman's peace. It's also trying to understand my woman even though I may not like her tone. You feel me? Loyalty is not always about a person not cheating on you, bro. You gotta understand this. You need to shift your identity. If you're young or older, it doesn't matter. Ask yourself, how many more years do I want to pray for the strength to tolerate this man? Ask yourself that. It's not just about walking away. It's about finding the version of you that you lost for so many years. You tell yourself you have nowhere to go. If God gave you the strength to tolerate this for so long, God will give you the strength to find versions of you to move forward. What kind of God wants you to stay in a place that's destroying you? Ask yourself that. So if you're praying for strength, don't just pray for strength. Pray for clarity. Because there comes a time when you won't be able to take this no more. And if you tell yourself you don't have options, then you're stuck for life. So shift your identity and make a move. Anyways, that's all I gotta say for this video, y'all. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I don't think I can go any longer on this video, but I appreciate the love and support. Until the next message, much love and peace.